like a party. Moolah Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca Belair, Best podcast, flex it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling Kickback's gonna make you sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.
Hey, what's up, fam? It's Chappelle, and I am back again with another rendition of Recap Kickback, where we talk about everything that I want to talk about. Black stuff, we talk about black entertainment, we talk about movies, we talk about The Walking Dead, we talk about Game of Thrones, we talk about House of Dragons, and now we talk about wrestling here in our new Wrestling Kickback podcast, hosted by somebody you might know and somebody you will be getting to know, unfortunately, on this podcast a lot better. First off, the person you might know, my co-host, and the person who I trust to take this and run with it in year 2 of Recap Kickback. It's Mari. Mari, welcome back.
Hello. I'm glad to hear our wrestling theme song again. That video got me so hyped, just like it's like WWE video packages. It got me hyped for what's next and the new chapter. So I'm glad to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, and with you brought over a guest, and I guess he will be staying for a while. It's Matt Scott. Matt, welcome.
Yes, I'm co-hosting. Baby, here we are. Look at this. And you know what, Mari? I'm like the 49% to Mari's 51%. But Chappelle, you're throwing off the percent because I'm like, what percent does Chappelle own?
Well, the percent that I
a lot
own
about
the podcast based on it, okay? So, for the people listening who are not familiar, Mari is my amazing co-host for many, many shows that we talk about here on Recap Kickback. But one of her biggest loves is wrestling. And so she used to be the host of the Wrestling RHAPUp over on RHAP. And now we have given her a home right here at Recap Kickback to kind of do her thing in the meantime when she and I aren't talking about Black entertainment news. And so, Mari, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen here now that we're starting year 2 of Recap Kickback.
Ooh. Yes. And this is the new and improved, questionable, Wrestling Kickback podcast. Yes, we get to chop it up here about wrestling. You know, it's our party over here, so we can do whatever we want. We'll talk about whatever we want to over here. And of course, I will always have my amazing co-host, my tag team partner, Mr. Matt Scott. It'll be the two of us, you know, breaking wrestling down the only way that we can here on Recap Kickback. We're so glad to join forces and bring our audience like just more content.
Yes, we are.
If you're listening to this, make sure you check out our YouTube videos as well, Matt. youtube.com/@recapkickback will bring you right here, right?
Yes. And look, just a big shout out to you, Chappelle. Thank you for having us here. It's beautiful to be here. Also, big shout out to Isaiah, aka 8Ball, for not only the theme song to open the episode, but to close the episode. And shout out to Ainsley for helping me make the intro video and the outro video that you'll see. Ainsley, shout out to you.
People gonna be mad. Out. You know, they hate Ainsley around these parts.
I know. But
I mean,
I don't care.
I feel like she was used for good in this way. So we're good.
If you don't see anyone missing fingers, hands, arms, limbs,
just don't look at her. Yeah, just don't look at them. So Mari, how is the Wrestling RHAPUp going to differ from the Wrestling Kickback going to differ from the Wrestling RHAPUp? What are we doing differently this time around? Especially now that you kind of got your own space to cook a little bit here on Recap Kickback.
Yeah. So a little differently, me and Matt, if you have been keeping up with us over on the Wrestling RHAPUp, we've been doing the Wrestling RHAPUp since 2021. So
4 years.
Yeah. 4 years. This would be 4 years for us. And we would normally do a week-to-week coverage on the highlights of the world of wrestling, WWE, AEW, NXT, whatever. That's what we were doing previously. Within the last year, things have changed drastically. Anybody who listens to me for anything should know I do have a new baby. I was pregnant when we went to WrestleMania. The Wrestling RHAPUp went to WrestleMania. I was 9
I had no
months
clue.
pregnant last year when that happened. So
that was wild.
It was wild.
Did we end up suing the venue, or
we should have?
No.
Technically we should have, but it's fine.
We'll come back to
that. Yeah. But with that, that change and the change of kind of the landscape in wrestling itself, which is like really ever changing. Just in we haven't spoken about wrestling since SummerSlam, and just within that past 4 months, we've already had several WWE going to Netflix, NXT going to CW. Like there's been so many just shifts and change in the landscape of wrestling, along with the shifts and change in landscapes, and not only my schedule, but Matt's schedule. So I say all that to say that the Wrestling Kickback will be bringing you monthly coverage, or honestly, just coverage whenever we want to. Consistently, what we want to do monthly. I'm going to try and cover the PLEs in some way, shape, or form. If something like really crazy happens and we have the time, I know, right? I know. Okay. I mean, which might happen. I mean, we are living in the end times here. So like,
honestly, you never know who's going to main event WrestleMania.
Hopefully, so we'll come
see that happen with any precedents.
We'll provide some very chill coverage of wrestling.
We'll try.
In our black ass ways, we'll cover it the way we can, and hopefully we hear from you guys. We hear more from the audience. What do you want to see? What do you want to cover? Like again, since this is on the Recap Kickback feed, we might do top 5s, top 10s. Who's your favorite wrestler? Matt is the interviewer du jour. So hopefully we might line up some interviews. So yeah, it's like I said, it's our party. We do whatever we want.
Yeah. Matt, I think as a consumer, I like listening to the recap kick with the Wrestling RHAPUp. It's gonna be so hard. There's so many W's around.
I know.
Too many.
Because I'm a casual. I am a filthy casual when it comes to wrestling. I check in, find out what my faves are doing, who the new faves are, and then I kind of skedaddle. I don't really like to keep up with the week to week because there's so much wrestling from week to week. I mean, like y'all said, y'all AEW, NXT, what you name it, y'all were talking about it, and there's just so much content. And so I really am enjoying the idea that y'all keep us abreast of what's happening, so I can pop in and still like be in the know without having to follow every dang storyline every day because there's so much going on in this wild world of wrestling.
Yeah, and I think look, Mari and I for 100+ episodes, maybe 150 episodes or so, we're doing week to week when we weren't on sabbaticals and breaks and maternity leave and the like from the podcast. And so, I think this is good though. We'll be able to check in when we do. And a big shout out to you, Mari, because I really missed getting all of the clips each week. I missed you being our excuse to keep up with everything. And so I think people will really appreciate the fact that we're here. I think we could keep up with this cadence of monthly-ish. And yeah, this is it's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And I agree. It's so catch-22, right? Because I truly do miss the just the weekly of the finding all the clips, making the outline, finding the guests, then talking to you. And we've had so many wonderful guests. You can always go back and check all of our old episodes, and just getting to talk to you every week, Matt. It was so fun. But on the flip side, it's I mean, I don't know how much our listeners, they'll probably understand if you watch wrestling, you'll understand how much time that went into that weekly episode. Because even though we come on here and we talk for 2 hours, it takes forever to come through all of the, what did we say, Matt? It's like 8, depending on how much wrestling you watch, it's anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a week.
And then every week we're so in the weeds about what's happening that week and how that compares with the week before and the week before and the week before. So, I mean, who knows? You might have some weeks where we're back to back if we get really pumped up about what's happening. But it's good that we could kind of keep it high level, and just glad that we
Yeah.
could be back. And shout out to people in the chat just for us showing the love and being here as we return, or really as we premiere with the Wrestling Kickback.
Yes, exactly. So thank you guys for following us over. Thank you if you're new. But whatever you do, click that like button, subscribe at recapkickback.com. Definitely check out, we always say, check out the video. Our videos are always so fun. Matt always has the wrestlers on deck for pictures. We're always on point here. So just go to youtube.com/@recapkickback. All right.
Yeah. Well, to y'all's point about all the wrestling content that y'all have to do every week, like you said, you're coming in here for the big storylines, the big moments. And so, Mari, it was a great idea for y'all to start with this month's big moment, the Royal Rumble 2025. And so, take us away, Mari. Tell us what's going on, what we need to know, what happened. Let's talk about the events of yesterday.
Yes, so we are here for a Royal Rumble preview podcast. Thank you to everybody who is live. We will be taking your questions. Feel free to put it in the chat, in the comments. But I mean, one of the biggest PLEs, definitely the biggest one that starts off the year. Quite probably like my favorite PLE. Like the Royal Rumble is always like, it's so fun because you just never know what's happening. And I thought it was really fun to kind of watch this one as like a casual, not a super casual, because I still high level know what's going on, but to not be so caught up in the storylines, to just watch it, I was just like, oh, okay, just watching like that. And then to go online and see people like, but wait, there was no this person, there was no this person. I was like, oh, I guess there wasn't that person. Like it's kind of the first time in a while that I haven't watched a Royal Rumble and been like, I need so and so to come out. I need this to happen. I need this to happen. And to just kind of like watch it. Matt, what were your thoughts?
I'm with you. No, I'm completely with you on that, Mari, because when you go into the Rumble and, we do it to ourselves as fans, but we go in with the expectations and the rumors. Like I remember a couple weeks ago seeing AJ Lee's name trending as people were talking about her being in the Rumble, which was such a long shot. And, obviously that did not happen. And so we get our expectations up really high, especially around the Rumble. And that only leads to disappointment about, are there going to be these surprises? What's going to happen? I do feel like, while I wish there would have been more surprises, I do feel like I was able to appreciate it more especially because we were not to trash us, but like we weren't here speculating about what would come up, because obviously, I mean, whatever we come up with would be a lot better than what actually happened. So I loved it though. It was a lot of fun, and this was a nice way to watch it.
You just reminded me. I remember last year. Remember last year we thought AJ Lee was coming, and the abject disappointment we had when she didn't show up. Oh my gosh, Chappelle, you watched the Rumble in order for this. What were your thoughts, just overall in general?
Yeah, I kind of live in the space that y'all are kind of in now, where you're like, I know the people, but I'm not really invested in a lot of their storylines. But there were a few moments that I really did get into. Sarah in the chat is asking about Alexa Bliss's storyline now that she's back. Y'all know I was an Alexa Bliss guy back in the day. Okay, I like what she was again.
She still kind of is.
Yeah, so
we don't know what she is yet.
Exactly. And so that's kind of where I'm interested in. I love that question because when some of the characters come back, it's wrestling. We remodel these characters, we rebrand them so much. They come back after different names and different hiatuses. I have no clue where characters like her are going to be the next time I see them. And so that was kind of fun.
Yeah. So let's get into like our favorite moments. We'll start with the Women's Rumble. So, and our overall thoughts on the Women's Rumble. So for me, I love the Women's Rumble. Literally, probably my favorite match ever. And and going into this one again, I only tangentially knew what storylines were gonna happen and stuff like that. And the one thing I definitely did know, because they didn't sugarcoat it, I knew Charlotte was coming back. Everybody knew Charlotte was coming back. I just want to say that one, the women did a great job. I was like, wow, there's so many women in this ring. Like the ring was packed the whole entire Rumble, which You feel like you rarely see that. And then WWE had this amazing ticker, this graphic at the bottom that I thought was amazing. Chappelle?
Right?
I have so many questions about the ticker.
So good.
This is so cool. They should have done this decades ago.
Decades ago.
Because that was one of my questions for you. I was like, when did they start like the graphics with
This
the
year.
stats on it? Because the time that the people have been in the ring, how many people are in the ring, what their names are. For somebody like me who's a casual, that was great because it's like, oh, that's who's in the ring right now. And I even like the little highlight cards that they would give us, like, this person hasn't been seen in a Rumble since this year, and this was their highest placement. And did you know these placements haven't won since? I was like, bro, finally, this feels so user friendly.
Yeah, it's good to have the visuals like along with everything, and especially for me, just to keep up with what number we're on, who was what number that just came out. Because I feel like half the time when you see people tweeting about it or recapping it right after the show, they get some numbers wrong or they miss some details. It was all laid out, which was so perfect. So I was a huge fan of that.
Yeah, and I mean, my daily moment to bash Peacock. Peacock was going in and out for me, and I actually was like trying to stay on and off social media because I'm like, I think I'm kind of, because you know how like when you play it on an app, it's like you're ahead of some people, but you're behind on with other people.
Yeah.
But I thought the ticker kind of kept time throughout. It was kind of interesting, like social media wise. But I loved everything about that. Like who's in the ring? 14 people in the ring. How many people have been eliminated? That was so cool. And I think it's because Kevin Dunn isn't there anymore, right, Matt? I'm pretty sure he's gonna. I think that was one of the last things we reported. Yeah, some of the WWE troubles may have caught up with him. So I really like that. Can we pull up some of the stuff in the chat here, Matt? Can you pull up Sarah's comment about Roxanne? So Sarah says, how about Roxanne beating Bayley's time in the Rumble? This can definitely be used for their current feud in NXT. Yes. As again, a casual viewer right now, the commentary team was doing really good to really keep us abreast of the current storyline. So I did know that like Bayley, Roxanne, and Julia are going to be fighting at Vengeance Day for the women's title. And Roxanne did beat her time. But I was literally just talking to James. Every year that there's been a women's rumble, the like Iron Woman time has changed every year. And I'm pretty sure I said it last year. I hate that.
What do you mean?
Like every year. So like the first year, like Sasha set the Iron Woman time for like 57 minutes or whatever. And then the next year, Natalya beat it. Then the year after that, Liv beat it.
Records.
Like every year, the year for the Iron Woman has been beat. And last year, Bayley was an Iron Woman with a time of like an hour and 4 minutes or something like that. And Roxanne beat that this year, but she didn't even win the Rumble. So it's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel
it's good
you.
For the storyline.
Like the records never stick, and I will also say this. I think it might have been in the men's Rumble, but there was a moment, and I'm sure we'll get to that Rumble, of course. But there was a moment where, like, I think it was Ludwig Kaiser entered and then was clotheslined out or thrown out really quickly. And then Michael Cole is saying, "Oh my gosh, that might be a new record." And it's like, no, sir, that actually was not a new record. But you're always trying to break records. But I will say Roxanne Perez was amazing in this Rumble. I think she entered at number 3 and was there. I mean, all the way until the end. For someone who's not even on the main roster, that is wild. So just kudos to her for just shining in all of it and really, I think, leveling up from past years. Because Bayley's been established. Charlotte's been established. They're kind of like some of the originals and the cornerstones of this era. So
and we saw that too. We tried to point that out. So Chappelle, any like key moments that stood out for you in the Women's Rumble?
Well, we have to talk about our winner. I mean, we were all shocked to see that
Charlotte
Flair, she did it again. The queen is back. I was like, boo, 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 boo. Tomato. Man, y'all know me. I'm a Bianca guy. Okay. So I was like, hey, man, I was pulling for my girl. I knew she wouldn't go win. I knew just based on like the way they were talking about her. She's obviously a tag team champion right now. So I was like, they're not about to give her this one. But when I saw that it was coming down to like Nia Jax is there, Charlotte Flair is there, this and that. I started reading the room. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be her. She's gonna do it again. Oh, Mark, I know you love Charlotte Flair. Seeing her come back and win this, and now be able to pretty much name her price for the next big main event. How do you feel?
Like I
speechless.
It's like written,
I feel like I'm
like
curious.
you knew it was happening. Like you knew it was happening because with Tiffany being the champion. So since we've been away, Tiffany cashed in her Money in the Bank on Nia Jax. Yeah, whatever. There's a whole thing that happened, and now she's the champion. Charlotte always comes in and she wins, and now she has to go up against the hot new thing. It sucks because when Charlotte was removed from, not when she was out on injury, it was supposed to be her versus Bianca last year. Like that was what we were building up to. We were building up to Charlotte and Bianca, and it all made sense. Bianca was at the top of the card. It made sense for Charlotte and Bianca to go, and hopefully it would have made sense for Bianca to go over Charlotte.
She would have won because she's still undefeated. Yeah. Undefeated. That's her thing.
Yeah. So unfortunately, with Charlotte getting injured, it actually made Bianca have to fall down the card to the tag team division where she's been at for the past year with varying levels of success there. And now, unfortunately, where the title picture is, it's just moved on without her, which, Bianca, she's still good at what she does. So she does not need to be in the title picture. We've said that before. So now with Tiffany, Tiffany Stratton, where she's at, I'm not surprised that it's Charlotte versus Tiffany because every new blonde girl is always compared to Charlotte. And we'll see if Charlotte does the job to Tiffany. I don't know. I don't know where that storyline is going. I have to continue to watch.
I mean, you're quick to go to Tiffany though, because let's remember that the first time that Charlotte won the Rumble, she cashed it in on the NXT title against Rhea, I believe, back in the day, which was wild. But then it also makes me think, I mean, is there a world where she challenges Rhea Ripley instead of Tiffany Stratton? I don't know.
No.
Really?
Because they already put on their barn burner 2 years ago, so there's no point in revisiting that.
But I will say I feel like with the case I could see for that is just that it's been such an evolution for Rhea even in that 2 years. So I don't know. I agree with you that Tiffany makes more sense for this year because like who else would Tiffany fight that actually would be like as interesting or exciting? But and Rhea could do anything at WrestleMania. Like she's her own main event. She should main event WrestleMania sometime. But I could see it. I want to see that match someday just to see them up against each other when they're, more on the same level. Like they're both guaranteed Hall of Famers at this point, which I don't know was true a couple years ago, the last time that they squared off.
Yes, but I want to know who the chat thinks is going to face Rhea, because the Rhea and Liv's storyline was so good to me that it felt weird that it was resolved. I mean, I get why they resolved it. They resolved it on a Netflix episode or something like that. Like something like that. It wasn't on a big PLE, if I remember correctly. But like, where does Rhea go now? Like, I know she's a newly minted babyface. She's no longer with the Judgment Day, but it's like, so now she needs a really big bad to continue to fight against. And Liv is still there, but could Liv's time be spent somewhere else? Like, I'm kind of interested to see where Rhea goes because I don't think it's with Charlotte. But yeah, like I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. So when people were saying like, oh, no Jade Cargill, no AJ Lee, no Asuka, no Becky,
no TNA people.
Why would you want those people in this match if they're just gonna lose to Charlotte? You know what I'm saying? Like they're just gonna take an L. So I don't. I didn't see that for that one. I will say. Yeah,
I was gonna say Sarah in the chat did answer your question. She's thinking Bailey or Bianca as far as who Rhea could go up against. Yeah, I don't know if you have any strong feelings about that.
Have they? I mean, Rhea versus Bianca would be great because they haven't done that yet on the biggest stage. Yeah. But where, like, to me, I don't know. I don't like, how do you reconcile that with where Bianca is on the card right now and the current kind of mystery of what happened to Jade, and her and Naomi had that little moment in the Rumble where she's like, why are you hugging Jordan Grace, who looked amazing, but the hair was kind of
What?
We'll talk about Jordan Grace in 2 seconds. We'll talk about Jordan Grace in 2 seconds.
Cool.
But like,
I'll look for pictures.
Io or Bianca would be great.
Ugh.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Io is the baby face too. So it's like it feels like there's a lot of really good baby faces and no really good heels. So like the only really big heel you have is Nia Jax right now to me, which, speaking of, what did y'all think of Nia's spot? So there was always about 14 women in the ring, and I was like, okay, we kept saying like, who's gonna come in Clear House? Who's gonna come in Clear House? It's like, that's normally Nia's thing. And of course, Nia comes out. There's still like 12 people in the ring. They all try and gang up on her, but she ends up literally eliminating like 6 people at one time. So
which was wild.
Yeah.
Okay, Mari, did it look like she eliminated all of them? Because I know they were trying to credit her with the eliminations, but I feel like all of them were kind of already on the way out because of that goofy spot.
That stupid spot.
Yeah, I think she just did like a little shove.
Yeah, you're who, somebody fact check for me, she was born in Australia. So so like Lyra Valkyria, Stephanie Van Io, they were already kind of Raquel, yes, they were already tangled together. Then so who is that? Lyra has Bianca's braid. I know. Rude.
She literally does. And she's pulling it like a rope. like she's like trying to climb back up with her braid.
Liv went out too. It was like literally all of the bigger names went out that one spot. So I was kind of like, it was weird for me because I was like, dang, I hated that. But also it kind of does protect them all at the same time. Like, it's weird.
It was stupid. Like, why are they doing that though? Why are they all on the apron? Like, come on.
It was stupid, but I still think it protected them a little bit. Like, I really do.
I agree. The fact that it was all at once.
Once. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's not like people getting mad because a lesser talent, threw out a bigger talent or anything like that, which is stupid anyways. But it was like, oops. It was
just goofy.
Yeah. And it was kind of a way, so people can't be mad. Like, like when Daniel Bryan gets eliminated and everybody's pissed at Daniel Bryan. It was like, we're going to piss everybody off. So everybody's just confused. Like, we're going to eliminate Bianca. We're going to eliminate Naomi. We're going to eliminate Stephanie. We're going to, they're like, we're going to eliminate all of your faves at one time. Liv Morgan. We're going to eliminate them all at one time. So you're all just like too stunned to be upset.
Well, like give Nia that heat in a way where it's like Nia just capitalized. Like, she did not throw them out individually. Charlotte didn't have to do it, which would have been its own issue, and people would have been mad at that.
Exactly.
So, so I'm just saying, like, it was a goofy spot, but you know what? They moved things along. I don't think it was as bad as it could have been. And even after that, there were still some of the, you had, I don't know who was still in the ring at that point, but you still had
Bayley
6
people left in the ring. Yeah, it was Bayley, Roxanne, Nia, Charlotte, Nikki, I think at that point, and I can't remember who else. But
Charlotte, Nikki, Trish might have still been in there.
I think Trish was still in there.
Maybe Alexa, but I can't even keep up with who was eliminated on that big spot. But it's all good.
It was a lot of people in there. So let's talk. Okay, so that was a sideways dig at Jordan Grace, but I love Jordan Grace. I'm so glad that she's like officially in the WWE now. Like, everything I've seen from her is really good. The only thing I was saying was her hair, which looked great, it just didn't match what was happening. You know what I'm saying? It was like, was that just me? It was like Oscar's, yeah, it's like PTA mom hair, but like
I thought she
without the
was.
beat
She
the
looked
bitch's
a lot
ass.
like.
Like,
She looked. Yeah, I know, right? Like
what are we doing?
damsel in distress or something like that. But also, no, I'm like, I was so confused because I thought this was Michelle McCool at first, because she would do the very much like the flowing curly hair. I don't know. I was confused about that story, but that's her thing. She's been doing bangs lately too.
Like her from
I
that
don't
side, she
understand.
looks like that's Kathy Griffin's like signature hair, like
Don't do that,
legit
Maury.
on Jordan Grace. And I was just like, this is like, it just doesn't. They both look good, but it just don't make sense together. Like it was like a Drag Race moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the outfit, I like the hair, I just don't like them together.
Yeah. No, you know what? She'll work on it, maybe. And that's the thing. I think being in WWE, like, I mean, I don't know what like how her makeup situation is, but I've heard from some of the women that they get kind of coached on that by different people, and so I think she'll glam it up even more. But it's hard because her thing has always just been like her muscle, her strength, even doing some intergender wrestling, fighting some of
Yeah.
the guys.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Her body is
yeah,
crazy.
next level.
Love
Next
it.
level. Yeah, but it's funny because she's kind of short. Like she's relatively short. She's like 5'8", 5'7", maybe
Oh,
maybe 5'6", which is wild because she's so
well, she didn't
muscular
look
and
that short to me.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw her next to or across from Charlotte at one point. I'm like, okay.
Oh, well, that
Charlotte's
will
also
6 feet.
Charlotte be
So,
Italian.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
Charlotte will make anybody look small. That's true. That's true.
This is true.
Final thoughts on the women's Rumble, Chappelle, before we move on?
It was fun. I like the women's Royal Rumble. I'm glad they started doing it. And I'm glad that they got all these different like people now from outside of the WWE. I was looking at I was in the Facebook group and people were talking about how big some of the pops were for some of the people outside the WWE, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Because for a long time, like y'all have talked about this, but just it's really hard for them to build a roster of women's wrestlers that they can use all the time. And so it's like you're blessed when you get some of these people to come over and really contribute to the company and get highlighted. And they showed them some love, leaving people from NXT in for so long is crazy. And so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and Trish with the throwback. I love seeing Trish. Every time Trish comes out, that's my fave. So she looked so good. She did so good. I was surprised. I was like, okay, Trish, I see you.
Yeah.
I think that was only her second Rumble, right, Matt?
Maybe second or third or something like that. I know
because she did the first one, and then I remember Lita coming out consistently, but thinking to myself like, Trish hasn't been out in a while.
Yeah, I get upset when I see Trish and not Lita.
Yeah,
her third.
Maybe it could have been her third because of when she came back for Becky. So that could have been.
And Matt, Nikki Bella.
Yes, Nikki Bella.
How do we not talk about Nikki Bella?
Number 30.
Good spot from the Traders.
The Traders. They gave her a trade. So that's another thing. So when I saw Nikki Bella, I was like, yes, Nikki, because I was so happy to see her because we all watched the Traders. So I was like, good for Nikki to come back and be a part of it. Ooh, people were not happy about it.
What are you talking? Who was not happy about that? I heard there was good pop for her.
Well, Matt, I saw on the internet, Matt, that people just felt like the 30th spot was supposed to be somebody that I guess it's like it's a coveted spot. I mean, she's no Logan Paul, and so maybe but she's I learned this with the little ticker. She's a Hall of Famer, so I was like, why not?
So that's what. Yeah, sorry.
Go back. Who people are always going to be disappointed about the 30th spot. Like it's all you have to put someone in who could take the heat, who could handle it. Because Mari, I will never forget that year that I believe it was Rey Mysterio was number 30. Was it like instead of Daniel Bryan or something like that? Yep. What a mess! They did that to Rey. Nikki could handle it. And I do think it was a smart move because. Total divas, total Bellas. Like she is beloved, even if not by. She's just not loved by like the core wrestling fandom all the time or appreciated. But you know what?
The IWC does not like her.
IWC,
but she got a pop in ring because again, no matter how much people on the internet hate her, I said it on my Traders preview podcast. And I'll
Mhm.
say it again, she
Yeah.
revolutionized the business because she brought in people, namely women's wrestling fans that people up until her couldn't. So you can be
Mm.
mad at Nikki Bella all you want to, but it won't change the fact that she literally changed wrestling history, her and her sister. Like, I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry for you
Yeah.
guys if that's not something you wanna hear. She is literally a
Mm.
wrestling legend and a Hall of Famer and deserves that spot. And again, Charlotte is winning this Rumble, y'all. So it's
Of
like,
course.
what is you all the 30 spot always goes to an alumni if the person at 30 isn't winning.
Mm.
Like, it happens so often. I would love to see the numbers on that, but, like, if the person at
Yeah.
30 isn't winning, normally that spot will go to somebody who is, like, a good pop, like, it'll give you a good reaction, a good, like, nostalgia act, but that nobody expects to win. Like, what's that
Yeah,
thinking?
but you know what? Like, yeah, again, like, again, you're thinking that's gonna be AJ Lee. You're thinking, could
True.
it be? I mean, there are so many different names, but that was the big one. People will be disappointed. Like, I don't think that
Right.
much about it. Just like maybe go in, lower your expectations, and enjoy the thing.
30 is always, like, debuting superstar, like, hot debuting superstar, hot nostalgic act, or the person who's winning the Rumble. That's literally
Oof.
normally it. Or if you're a dick, it's Logan Paul because
Yeah, I was gonna say
and you
like the heel that you
announce
don't want
it
to see
ahead
in
of
that
time, and you
spot.
announce it ahead of time. That's why they announced it ahead of time that Logan Paul was going to be 30. You see what I'm saying? Like,
God.
it's not rocket science.
Oof.
So I love seeing Nikki. She looked happy. Rough waters
Uh-oh.
about because wasn't she? I thought she was kind of suing the WWE. I don't know. I thought they weren't on the
Uh,
best of terms. Maybe not suing, but
yeah.
I thought they weren't on the best of terms at one point.
They
But
they were weird because well, they were not on the best of terms, at least as far as I remember, back to the Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis, who was
oh, their
at the time married
stepfather.
to their
Yeah,
former stepfather at this point. Yeah, they were
yeah,
just not happy about any of the situation. And then maybe there was some other stuff about them and their name, so they became the Garcia
the
twins
Garcia
instead of
twins.
the
Yeah,
Bella twins, which now they've maybe taken back the Garcia or the Bella name. I can't keep up, but I don't know if
we
I
can't
don't
keep
think there
up.
was a lawsuit. There wasn't a lawsuit
Okay.
from
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
remember.
probably not a lawsuit, but a little bit of weirdness there. But shout out to her. I love
Totally.
seeing her. Was it cool kind of seeing her in her element, Chappelle,
Oh
after
yeah.
Traders?
Well,
Mm,
that's the thing. I didn't know her by like as a wrestler. So
Yeah,
I think I tapped out before she came in and kind of became
yeah.
the legend that
mm,
she is. And so, yeah, see, I got excited because I was like, oh, I know her, And so, but then, like I said, I saw online people were like, I mean, at 30, this is what we doing. But at that
yeah.
point, I was rooting for her. But again, when I saw that she was up in there against Charlotte Flair, I was like, oh man, that's tough. The traders didn't end great, and neither will this. But I think it's less about winning the Rumble and just coming back and like really just having her moment to shine as, like you called her, an alum who is a legend. Put her in the spotlight. I think she deserves it.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, and
speaking of which, I want to bring up
Mm.
Alexa Bliss, not an alum, but someone who's been gone forever, and she just made her way back to the roster. Mari, what did you think about taking in more? Because just like I'm curious mostly about what's going forward with her. I know
right.
we've mentioned her a little bit, but
Yeah.
she had the Lily doll with her, which I know terrifies us. So I don't
Which
really know.
which
She had a good
apparently
little showing.
is like a high seller on WWE Shop. So
Mm,
there's been so many minds about her coming back. So first off, her coming back with this same gimmick, even I'm like, can we retire it? But apparently she
mm,
sells so much merch, and that I mean, she's always been a merch seller. But like with that doll and stuff like that, apparently like it's huge. So I don't think we can expect um a shift in character yet. Like hopefully they have a plan for that. Two, apparently again, I'm in and out of the dirt sheets, and there's been
mm.
some craziness going on with the dirt sheets lately that so much to the point where I'm like, nah, I'm tapping out. Like this is y'all are fighting over fake sports. Like this is stupid.
Mm,
So
yeah.
But apparently there was like a dirt sheet that had said that Alexa was never coming back or something, and it was like
Yeah. I
yada
think that
yada
was fake
yada.
news.
It was that, and then people are like, "Oh, were they giving out fake sources just so that they can make fun of the wrestling media?" Because like
Probably.
there's rumblings that Alexa was going to come back. I was like, I know I heard something about her. She's going through her contract, like they're trying to figure out her contract. So her
Mhm.
being there was not surprising in a surprising way. I'm just glad she figured it out. Like, it's been since 2023 since we last seen her. I know she had a baby, she got married. So, very interesting where she'll fit into the dynamic of the women's division. The women's division is just so
Yeah.
stacked. That's why they got both. Yeah, they're about to make so much bank on that doll in that shirt.
On that
So
doll, that shirt, all of it. So maybe that's some indication of what to expect. And they're selling Nikki
oh,
Bella merch. So,
again, so
a
much money
draw.
on Bella
Uh-huh.
merch. It,
Mhm.
if you don't understand how big of a draw Nikki is, you never went to a wrestling show between 2011 and 2016, because if you did, you would have saw a
Yeah.
sea of red. It was just all Bella merch everywhere when I
That was
used to go.
wild.
It was a
Mhm.
wild time. But yeah. All right. Let's get to some of let's get to the men's rumble. Unless you guys want to talk about some
Yeah.
of the individual matches. For me personally, I kind of took a nap.
Briefly. Well, Mari, let's just touch on them really quick then. Like the next match was DIY,
Yeah,
Johnny
the
Gargano
2 out of
and
3.
Ciampa versus the Motor City Machine Guns. All I just wanted to say on this is that when I found out that the Motor City Machine Guns debuted in WWE, I was like
watched that.
mind blown. I was
Yeah.
shooketh. I remember watching it. Like,
Yep.
it was amazing. Because I remember watching them like 20 years ago or 15 years ago when they were in TNA. Like, I was a big fan. I remember I had an Alex Shelley shirt. When before he was even with
Wow.
Chris. Like, but it's cool to see them. Cool that they're there. They wrestle well. They won the championships. They didn't win them again at the Rumble, of course, but
Right.
I will say the one thing I want to bring up with this match, the finish was so weird. Which I don't know if you saw the finish, Mari, if you did sleep with it,
I
but the
woke up
finish
just
was
in time for
weird.
the Profits. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they two out of three falls match, blah 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 blah. Like each team gets a fall. Then at the end, as the Motor City Machine Guns are about to win, the Street Profits come up and attack them.
Yes.
And so DIY wins, but then the Street Profits attacked DIY to prove a point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Cole was trying really hard to explain that, where he was like, "Oh, they just wanted to choose who they fight next," but it like almost didn't make sense.
No,
Maybe
I agree. I'm with you. No, I'm with you, because as like, again, I'm not following these storylines closely.
No.
And you think in typical fashion, if I'm beefing with one group, I would come in and make sure they lose the match. Like, okay, I want them to lose. But Michael Cole was saying, no, they wanted them to win so that they can then beat them for the championship title. Like, instead of letting them lose the titles right now and fight them, they want to beat them so they can win. It's just like, I got to make sure that we're the ones who take it from you. Look at Black History Month.
Look at it.
Wow, really?
To me, it just translated to, the Street Profits are bad now, and they're just fighting everybody.
Just a heel turn.
Yeah, it's heels. Yeah, because MCMG and DIY, they're both faces, and then the 2 out of 3 fall. They're both faces. The Street Profits came. Hopefully, they get their championships back. It's all good. Like, I was again, I don't know, I was knocked out. The baby was asleep. I was asleep. I woke up.
I felt good for you, though, honestly, especially with the baby sleeping. I feel like you felt I wasn't here for the Cody KO match,
Okay. Same.
Let's get into
So we all know I'm a ladder match girly.
Right.
I love a good ladder match. However, I'm so sick and tired. Like, KO has to be upset, right? Like, KO always contends for the championship at Royal Rumble just to not win it. It has to be like, I know it might not be like 4 years in a row, but it's been so many times that that's happened to him that I'm just kind of like, why should we care when we know that you're not going to switch the title going into WrestleMania season, and that you keep doing that with KO? Like, that's the most frustrating thing to me, and I really want to know the stat, because I know he did it with Roman, I think twice, Royal Rumble twice, with Cody, I think with Seth. Like, I think it's been 4 separate occasions where he is challenged for the championship at Royal Rumble and loses every time, because it's just because they know he's going to put on a great match but just lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe that's like his version of WrestleMania, getting his ass kicked at the Royal Rumble. This is so sad. Like, even looking at the pictures of it in that final spot, that bump through the ladder at the end when Cody put him through the ladder looked nasty. The way he laid there looked nasty. But you know what? I will say KO does get to do a lot of interesting character work going into moments like this. Like, this time he had the Winged Eagle Championship, so that was cool.
He stole it. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he makes them good moments, but like, why do we do this? Why should I, like, he was not winning.
Exactly.
He definitely wasn't beating Cody here.
That's what I'm saying. They make him do such good story work, storytelling, storylines, takes these crazy bumps. Like, the him and Roman match was like a False Count Anywhere match like a few years ago. That one time where Roman didn't get on his feet quick enough. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying I'm saying I'm frustrated because it's good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I see Sarah in the chat. Like, it was I mean, obviously it's a great match, but I just feel like it's hard to get emotionally invested in how it'll go, because we know how it's going to go, and we know it's going to be a great match. So it's like, how can it exceed our expectations? It was kind of insane though, in terms of the spots that they took. I will say that. But then again, like, that's what we're used to with KO, like getting his ass kicked, like, at the Rumble, or going through ladders, throwing people off of ladders. Like, great match, but
what do you think, Chappelle?
Not on a Rumble pay-per-view.
I love this so much. I'm a big KO guy, and I like Cody Rhodes a lot. Like, between the two of them, I was like, you can't draw up a better match for me, because I think Kevin Owens' thing is, I get my ass beat really good. I think the cool thing about, Mari talking about it, but I kind of returned to talk to y'all about wrestling around the same time when he was in that big feud with Roman Reigns. And it was just Roman destroying this man, right? Like, just all the time. Yeah, it was like, like you said, at WrestleMania, in 2023, like, it happened, and I was there, and I was like, oh, I kind of gotta like, it's like, it's a little endearing, it reminds me a little bit of like Mankind, right? Because Mankind is mostly known for all the hits and the falls he's taken, the body parts he's hurt and all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, I know KO is about to die here. I don't want him to die, but it's coming. Right. And then, of course, I like Cody Rhodes. So I love this. This was my favorite match. And it was gruesome. That last, through the ladder. I know they yelled through the ladder, but when you actually go through the ladder, I'm like, yeah, this is too much. I really enjoy them bringing out like the administration people, like, coming out like, gotta make sure he's alive. Should we call him back? I love that element of it. It's so cool.
I know.
Yeah,
it's so
good.
Kind
of like buried though, in, I think maybe Mari, like, what we're getting to is like, we are Royal Rumble people. Like, we show up, we want to see the Royal Rumble matches, so it does feel like the other matches are kind of filler, a little bit of filler.
Yes, I agree.
But they did deliver, and actually, I mean, I would say DIY and Motor City Machine Guns also delivered. Right, it's not a match quality issue, but when you're waiting to get to the next Rumble, you kind of want to like yada yada it and go on. But they, we should watch that back. We should watch it back.
We should, yeah. And they did look up. I am glad they made it a ladder match. I'm glad it wasn't just a regular match. If it was just a regular match, then I really would have been like, dog, get this off the screen, But I did like that match. I'm not saying I didn't like the match. But I just can't. I'm wondering when the next time, if KO will be able to be a champion again, major champion.
Yeah, I want that.
We finally got Roman's chokehold off of the title right now. So if it's gonna be the time to do it, it's gonna be it.
But like,
But
think of Mari. Think about a year plus ago with Drew McIntyre. Like everything with him, he just hadn't broken through that level to
yes,
where he
that's true.
became post-mania and otherwise, where he was just nasty
Loved
around
it.
that
Ugh,
time. You know,
I
maybe
love Drew this
superstar
past
of the
year.
year for 2024.
Mhm.
So I mean, KO could do it, but I think when I saw him carrying around that Winged Eagle belt, I knew there's no, like it's not his moment to actually get
Yeah.
the championship.
Yeah, it's like they want that look, but they don't want
Mhm.
to actually put the title on him. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm very interested to see where Cody goes because the highlight of the evening, the men's rumble, the winner, they shut me the fuck up. Let me tell you this, okay? We're watching watching the men's rumble, right? It's down to
Mhm.
it was down to Jay, Roman, Cena, and one more person.
I'll tell you, it was so there were a few different points. Like one
Yeah.
of them, it was final six was Roman, Cena, Logan Paul, Punk, Seth,
Yes.
and Jay.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. And then Seth gets eliminated and then starts like tearing up the side of the ring, right?
So, yeah, Punk eliminated Seth and
Yes.
Roman, and then
Yes.
immediately Logan Paul eliminated Punk.
Oh my
And
God.
so
Yes.
then you
Thank
had
you.
like Logan Paul, Cena, and Jey Uso like, you know, knocked out in
Just
the
laying
ring.
down. Yeah.
But that was insane with like Roman, what you're getting to with Roman, with Seth, with Punk. I wasn't ready.
I kept yelling. I said,
wasn't ready.
Roman, stop putting your head near things. Like it was so funny. Rollins hits Reigns with the first curb stomp, and I'm like, oh my God. And Punk's just there. And then Seth is just pissed all on the outside of the ring. Roman goes near the steel steps. Roman, get away from the steel steps. Here comes Seth with another curb stomp to Roman on the steel steps. I think our chat is saying they're thinking Seth is turning heel or something. I don't care. I love Seth Rollins. And I really thought Punk was gonna win the Rumble. So when he did it, you know, cool. Again, we all know me and CM Punk, he's a great person. I don't like his booking.
Sure.
So I'm all team Seth, Drew, Roman. Like those last 6 to 8 people in that Rumble was crazy. Like that's so much star power or whatever. But that aside, Chappelle, we get down to Logan Paul, John Cena, and Jey Uso. And
oh man,
I was like, this could either be really, really bad, medium bad, or good. And I just kept saying out loud, I was telling James, I was like, they're not gonna do it. They keep playing in our faces about Jay. We're gonna get a stupid Logan Paul win here, or if Logan doesn't win, John Cena's gonna win. Like I was going off, and they shut me up. What do you think, Chappelle?
It's so tempting for them to just do the Logan Paul thing, right? Like we got I Show Speed in the Royal Rumble. Like they're really leaning into like these younger audiences with these streamers and then like popular YouTube personalities. And we've seen how they treat Logan Paul in the WWE. They hype him up, and I'll give him this. He's very athletic. Does a lot of very interesting things. And so yeah, I think it was right there. They were I just know they were so tempted to do it. My biggest fear was that this was going to be John Cena. It's something about seeing John Cena in the Jordan at like 50 years old. It's so unsettling to me. I'm like, where did you even buy the shorts now? Like, it's just they don't even sell them that size. Them 2005. And he kept them. And so I'm like, it just to me, I love John Cena. It's taken a long time for me to get there, but like. I love him now where he is now. I don't need him to have another like this. This is fine. I felt like watching old John Cena in the ring kind of made me feel like, all right, we are both retired in my mind. So I was like, okay, it's got to be Jey Uso. It's got to be like there was no world to me where it was going to be John Cena. And then, like I said, looking at Logan Paul, I was just like, they wouldn't do that to us again. They would. They would.
I thought it was going to be Jay. Or not so wow. I thought it was gonna be John Cena.
Really?
Yes, wow, because they play in Jay's face so often.
Yeah. And I'll also say this: the funny thing for me, as people were coming out, like each Rumble, I wrote down the first 2 people to start. And then when I saw people like Roman came out at 16, John Cena came out at 23, Punk came out at 24, because I'm thinking, here's who might win. Seth came out at 25. And to your point, Mari, it was just star-studded,
so
including Dom Mysterio in that last like 10 people. But I didn't even write down when Jay came out, because I'm thinking, what, like they're gonna throw him out like they threw out his brother. I will say though, I love that this happened. I love this for Jay, despite that really bad WrestleMania match that we witnessed in person, Mari, where they just were super kicking each other left and right. But I did not like, and this is just me being picky, I'll say this, I didn't need John Cena to give the rub to Jay.
I don't like this. I don't like it.
No one needed it. No one needed it.
You're right. Jay is the most over person right now. Like, again, if you look into that audience, all you see is Yeet shirts. So thanks, John Cena.
I think because I don't have the background about the way they do Jey Uso, is that like for me it was so obvious that it had to be him, because I was like, why would you give it to John Cena right now? Look at how everybody's going up for Jey Uso. It's like this John Cena, but John Cena has, he's a little long in the tooth when it comes to wrestling. We've seen this before from John Cena. We've seen a lot from John Cena, and I just felt like now's a great time to pass the torch. I just didn't need him physically going and pass the torch, because I was like, it feels like it's been passed. Like, I feel like it's time. This is Jay's moment.
He's been passed the torch like 8 times now. Like, go and get. You don't got the torch no more.
But he's been talking about the fact
that
like
farewell tour. That's why everybody.
I love John Cena.
The next year he's on his retirement tour.
I love John Cena, and like I said, it took me a long time. I remember when I first saw John Cena, I was a fan. Then he got black, and I was like, I'm good. And then he's back. He's back to this like whatever he is now, and like I like him as like a movie star. I love his personality. Any interviews that I've ever seen John Cena run, he looks like a fun guy. But it just to me feels like this would have been kind of like a step backwards a little bit, and I really felt like this was a cool moment for some of the younger superstars, including Logan Paul. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. My worst case scenario was Logan Paul. I was like, oh my god, worst case scenario Logan Paul. So then I was like, oh my god, am I rooting for a Cena victory here? And then when they threw out Logan Paul, I was like, oh thank God. Hopefully it goes to Jay, but I did not believe it was going to go to Jay until John Cena's feet hit the ground.
They did a really good job
at that last segment. Yeah,
they did, because we really thought, and it could have been Cena, because then he goes on to Mania. He has his Mania match. Like, it would all add up. I think we'd get over it, but I'm glad that they didn't do that. And then John Cena needs to figure out his own road to that 17th championship, because I mean, he talks about how he's not going for the 17th belt. He's not trying to break, quote unquote, Ric Flair's record. But like he's gonna break that record this year, right? And
I think so.
I just want like a little shorter jorts. You know what I'm saying?
I just just come with the times. Like that's why I think it's hard for me. It's kind of like you watching your faves kind of just like age out, but then they're like, it's not graceful. I'm like, I want it to be graceful. I want this to be your farewell tour, but I want it to feel like it, and it to be is like even when the powerhouses are all in the ring, right? You got Roman, who's just there, just like stoic. You got CM Punk, like it was just Seth freaking Rollins is there, and John Cena looked like he's fangirling like everybody else. He's like, what's that? Like and Roman can't be bothered. He like, I'm here for business. John Cena looked like a fan. I
popped so huge when Roman came out, because that stat about him not being in the Royal Rumble for 5 years, because he's been the champion for the past 4, was crazy. So hilarious to me. Like, it's so good, because it's kind of funny, because it made you forget, like, before those 4 years of him not being in the Rumble, he was the Rumble like terror. Like, people hated him being in the Rumble, because every time he was in the Rumble, he was always in the final 2, and
he didn't win.
But people they still hated it, and so so
it's a very interesting
thing. They hated to see him coming.
But I've never realized that before, Mari, that he's never won a Royal Rumble. It would have been pretty cool for him to win one.
Well, he's won a Royal Rumble
10 years ago.
Yeah, I want to say he's run 2. I want to say, I'm pretty sure, But yeah, they said he won
yeah,
2015.
something like that.
They kept saying
2015.
2015.
Oh,
So
2015,
maybe he
2015.
has it. But
I mean,
maybe
that's
he has
10,
only
10
won
years is a
one.
long time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, it's
Yeah, he
crazy to
has
think
only won one.
because he's basically been out of them for so long because
Yeah.
he's been a champion. But
Right.
And
10
then all the
years,
subsequent ones he
yeah.
was
But he like final two, but
final
not being
two.
able to take it
Literally the
home.
whole
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if my
Yeah.
boy got the yips or something. You get in the final two, but you can't bring it home, Roman. Now I got a new rooting interest next year. I'm gonna see if Roman can get him one again. It's been a decade, y'all.
Yeah. I don't
Honestly.
so we're getting a lot. Let's pull up
Y'all should have made me the
Come on,
producer.
man.
one of
I can
Sarah's
tell y'all
Yeah,
chats in the
right.
chat. For me, I think Jay goes up against Gunther because Jay was literally about to it kind of resumes their storyline for the Intercontinental Championship when Jay was about to beat Gunther for that, and then the bloodline got in the way and all that stuff. So I think that would be where I would go with that. And then I don't know I just said I don't know what's going on with Cody. Um I don't know if you give Cena the WrestleMania spot. People are saying you put him in there for Elimination Chamber. I don't know. I just think between Seth, Drew, Roman, and CM Punk, so just the four of them are just so incredibly hot right now. Like, what do you do with them if you don't put at least one of them up against Cody? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't need Cena main eventing WrestleMania for the title. You'll have him there. But then again, maybe I'm wrong because it's his final WrestleMania. So will they want him to main event because it's his last WrestleMania? Does it need to be for the title? Are they going to do some of the like Mari? We saw it was The Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody last year. Are they going to do that on like something like that on night one? I have no idea, but I really don't. I just feel like Cena needs to earn his way to whatever he's doing at WrestleMania. Even better if he's putting someone over, in my opinion, or at least like fighting someone who is young and up and coming. I just have a feeling he's going to do like John Cena versus Randy Orton or something like that.
But again, this is literally why we like the Rumble, because there's so many avenues you can go into once you come out of that match. There's so many storylines that can start to take shape and stuff like that. So,
Mari, one of the questions we have in the chat, what if the belt is on the line at the Chamber, Cena wins, then Jay versus Cena at WrestleMania? Like, what? I need Cena to work for that. But it's an interesting question.
I wouldn't want to see Jay versus Cena. Like, I wouldn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
And then Jay wins again?
It don't give the same energy that it used to give. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's not what I want,
I'm
like,
telling
I don't know
you,
if I want to see
Chappelle.
Gunther either, though. Like
Gunther versus Jay. That'd be like what they worked when they worked was really good, and plus Gunther's really good at being like that really big dominant heel. That's why I want Jay versus Gunther, because Jay is just the obvious babyface against the heel who's like, oh, you're a tag team specialist. He literally told him that. He's like, you're not worth the time. You're a tag team specialist. You're not getting this belt that I have. So I personally want to see that.
We'll see.
All right, let's bring some more questions up, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, we mentioned Jay versus Gunther, that potentially being a thing that we could see that could happen.
I want it.
You know who was a standout for me in the Royal Rumble? Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah.
I don't know him.
The Samoan werewolf.
Like, yeah, that is a persona. That's how you do it. All the Samoans in wrestling history have just really shown up and shown why they are the legacy that they are. And just like I said, I'm not familiar with his character, or and so when I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy. Like he's got like, I don't know, man. It's such an interesting kind of like presence that he has, where it's like, oh yeah, he's taking these hits, but he's like bouncing back. It's like no matter what you do to him, he's just like, I don't know, I'm like a Tasmanian devil energy. I really like it.
Yeah, he's great. He's so scary, and I was surprised that he was the only like bloodline member there to represent. I was waiting for Solo. I was waiting for Tama Tonga. Like nobody showed up. So that was interesting, but he really did kill it. we didn't even talk about how we started off with Penta and Rey Mysterio. They're just
Penta
like
lasted a long time, man. Go Penta.
yeah,
I was gonna
like
say
that was
Penta
crazy.
brand new on the roster, and it's cool to see that he was at least in the match. They're trying to keep some momentum with him, and I didn't think that it would be the Rumble when we'd get the Penta Ray match. Like I thought we
I
would get a
know.
feud, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what I expected, but I
It was
definitely didn't
good.
think they would open up the Rumble.
It
So
was definitely a little appetizer. They're like, this is a tease.
yeah,
Yeah, they did a
Oof.
really good job. Joe Hendry comes out as the TNA.
Mhm.
He's the TNA champion. People love him. Like I have no. The only thing I know about his work is from what he does in NXT, what he did in NXT, and people loved him there.
Mhm.
So very charismatic. Yeah, like something about him, like really is like draws people to him.
I wonder what it is too, because
Yeah.
he's had like good theme songs. I want to say his theme song like charted on Spotify or something like that. I
Oh,
might just be making that
mm,
up, but like, yeah, people really love him. I will say when he was in the ring with all of the people, when you just like don't really see it. I didn't
Mm.
really see it. And I think that might just
yeah.
be like a physical stature thing, which is so like Vince McMahon 20 years ago. But yeah, I mean, I hope that he does well. I hope we see more of him. I also just like that they give him all these different cameos in WWE. And I'm glad he's TNA's champion because, like, yeah, he could keep growing and keep thriving that way too.
Because he was the NXT champion for like 2 seconds. Like they put I believe that was him, right? Was that Joe Hendry that they put the belt on for like 2 seconds? Or am I thinking of another dude?
I want to say maybe you're thinking of Ethan Page.
All ego Ethan Page. But no, they
Yeah.
both came out at the same time, I thought. I don't know.
Something. Yeah, I
Hendry is
don't think
not
he
good.
was.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, I don't think they've really done a ton with him in
Like I
terms of
said,
like an
I don't know
extended
about him,
storyline.
but he got a pop.
You
People
don't
loved
know
him.
about him.
People like the IWC was going crazy. So I don't. He's
He
still in
did
TNA for
win.
what I understand.
He did win NXT Year End Award Moment of the Year last year.
Yeah,
So
because he did. I know. I
or
was
whatever
like,
that's worth.
I'm pretty sure he came and he challenged somebody for something or other.
Something.
Okay, let's pull up. The House has spoken. He says they think it's Cody versus Cena at Mania with Cody going heel. Everybody's saying Cody's going heel. Is Cody going heel?
No, he can't go heel. He's the new
I
John
mean,
Cena.
American Nightmare. That nightmare
He
part makes you
represents
feel like
us.
he can go heel though. You know,
because
like
he was heel. Yeah, he was heel
yeah,
in
like
AEW.
look, I like that. I'm sorry, I'm a Cody guy, you know. So I was like, man, this if him going heel would be so entertaining because it's like
It
it's
is.
almost like his pompous, like kind of like I'm Mr. Perfect, nobody can touch me. Like he's disgusted with the fact that Kevin Owens even thinks that he can like just like breathe the same air as him. Like I think a heel turn for him would be so much fun.
Sure. Yeah, I don't see it against Cena though, because I
It
don't think
doesn't.
Cena's that sympathetic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on board with
Like,
Cody. Turn
I felt bad
against
for him.
Cena. Yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
call him sympathetic, but I felt bad for him in that ring. I'd like, you
Yeah.
outmatched, baby. Get out of there.
Sarah
Mhm.
says that on Saturday night's main event, Jay lost to Gunther, and I totally forgot about that. Sounds very
Yeah, that did
No,
happen.
I can't watch. I'm gonna
Just
tell
a
y'all right
week
now. I
ago.
can't watch the Saturday stuff. Like, like,
Mm.
yeah, they barely got me during the week, and I was like, why y'all at a Saturday thing?
They have more of
Anyways.
those coming up this year, Mari. And
Yeah, I
I heard a
know,
lot
I
of it's like
know.
counter programming, or I don't know if it was intentionally counter
AEW.
proing AEW,
It
but
is.
it's lined up with
It is.
AEW.
So I'm like, nobody has time for Collision and main event, even though
Well,
shout
not
out to Timeless
that.
Tony Storm,
Yeah.
and regular Tony Storm,
And Mercedes Moné, we still
the
like
triple
her.
champ, right? She's triple
Yeah,
champ.
quadruple champ. She has 4 belts.
Jeez.
Isn't that crazy?
But yeah, so I don't know. We got Hendry is not good. That's funny.
Established.
Yeah.
Random. We have a random question from Sarah
Oh,
about Denise Salcedo, which is just like,
shout out to her. Yeah, we're very familiar with Denise's work. She's a very good content creator. The fact that AI thinks that Jacob Fatu is her husband is kind of hilarious, and the reason why we should not use Google AI or any of those type of things.
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ainsley for helping with video stuff. Anyway, yeah, no, great questions. And if there are any other questions, drop them in. I don't see others right now, but look, I don't know. We've gotten through so much, Mari. We
I
talked about Royal
know.
Rumble.
This was
We're
so
back.
fun. Yeah, we are
Yeah,
back. We're back. Um,
we are
you
so
know,
back.
we are we are so back, and we got to thank our new owner, Brandon Chappelle. The
Sorry,
contract reads Brandon Chappelle. On
I don't like that idea of Chappelle being our owner.
Well, you
I
could
mean,
not be owned, Matt.
yeah, he just, contract is just,
Yeah,
You know
like,
what? I like that.
Mari's on contract now. You don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Where's Sean Ross
yeah.
at?
I'm a
Matt
free
Scott
agent.
has been
Salcedo on the
released
phone.
from
Yeah, get
Wrestling
Denise
Kickback.
Salcedo on the phone. We have a spot here on the Wrestling Kickback.
Best of your future endeavors.
Yeah, replace me with her. Fine, go for it.
I'm so happy that y'all are doing this, honestly, because like I
Yes.
said, I love being abreast of what's going on in wrestling, but I cannot keep up with 19,000 hours of wrestling a month. It's just insane. I know y'all keep an eye on it. I know y'all tell me all the stuff that matters, but y'all are good at keeping your ear to the street, Matt, and y'all are really good at following the storyline just from a macro perspective, so that when stuff like this happens, I can come in and get caught up on everything I need to know. And so thank y'all so much for being able to come over here and be willing to do this on Recap Kickback. We got a little bit more rebranding to do on some of the stuff, but yeah, we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be a tight ship over here. I know it's in good hands with Mari and her sidekick.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, tag team partner.
I feel so degraded. Yeah, tag team partner. Come on. Like, I'm the Mari Jannetty.
Yeah, there you go. Where's the barbershop window when you need one?
I'd be honored. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, I like I said, I guess that's it for us. Thank you for joining us on the Wrestling Kickback. We are so excited to be here. Make sure you follow us over on Blue Sky. You follow us at Wrestling Kickback on Blue Sky. It's gonna be so hard for the longest.
It's like kickback.
It's like saying,
Wrestling
it's
Kickback.
like that it's 2025 now, and you write the date, and you're still writing 2024. Yeah, every time. It's gonna be like that for like 2 months. But if you follow us on Blue Sky, when we do drop, that's where we'll put all of the playlist videos. The clips that we talk about, we'll put those on Blue Sky, and then we'll talk about them on the next podcast. That way, you know exactly what we'll be getting into. Make sure, of course, you watch us over on the Recap Kickback YouTube by going to youtube.com/@recapkickback, and make sure you subscribe at recapkickback.com. So this is our new home. This is where we're going to be at. This is where you can find us all day, every day. And please remember,
not every day.
Well, I mean, figure of speech, y'all. Figure of speech. Whenever we want, whatever. Anyways. Hit the wrestling is for everybody, but not all wrestling is for everyone.
Wait, do you have plugs, Mari?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, sorry. My bad. We were trying to get out of here.
Yeah, where can the people find you?
At Mari Talks Too Much on Blue Sky. That's it. I'm nowhere else.
Number 2.
Yeah, 2 like the number 2. How about you, Matt?
Matt Scotchy W on Blue Sky and other places. Check out Pod Friends. Subscribe to that. That's still a thing. Shout out interviews over there. Chappelle, where can people find you? At Recap Kickback. Where else?
Yeah, no, at Recap Kickback, we got a lot of stuff planned. This is February. It is our anniversary.
Yes.
Recap Kickback's been 1 calendar year.
Oh, yeah.
And so we got a lot of good content. We got game night coming up. We got some more coverage with me and Gia about Abbott Elementary. Of course, we still have our How to Run Christmas series that we are doing with Gia and I. We got a lot coming up. The Purple Pants Badass Bryce is coming at some point to talk about stuff. So much. We got a black cartoon character, Brett Steele, coming in a couple weeks. So we got everything coming here. We're trying to spice it up for year 2, baby. So make sure you subscribe. Recapkickback.com/subscribe and youtube.com/@recapkickback.
Okay, great. See, sorry, I forgot we have the Recap Kickback audience here too. So yes,
Yeah.
we had to get our plugs in for them. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. We will always be plugging Recap Kickback. That is correct.
100%. Yeah.
Sorry,
Pay the
we're under
bills.
new management, y'all. Like,
Under new management. Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
This
the
is
yoke is tight,
yeah.
No, okay, but yes, it's great. This Black History Month. Can't wait to do what we're gonna do on Recap Kickback. Other than that, again, for the Wrestling RHAPUp, make sure you are following us on Blue Skies to know when we are coming back. And of course, Job has a Squadcast Facebook group. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for understanding what's been going on. We do love chatting with you guys there. If you want to join the Job Has a Squadcast Facebook group where we talk about wrestling over there, you can just follow us on Facebook and then we'll get you in there. That feels weird saying, ugh. But anyways, we do love our
just
group.
like message us and we'll hook you up somehow.
I mean, I think Wrestling Kickback sounds like a great Facebook group name. I'm just saying, we got a lot going on.
Group, and then it's more effort.
Same group, just change the name,
Well, we can't. Well, it wasn't our group to begin with.
Oh, God dang it. Well, yeah, we branching out, baby. We got to figure this out. We're going to do it together as a family. How about that?
God.
Wow. Thank you, Daddy Chappelle.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. My condolences.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, we'll follow us. We'll figure it out. Thank you for sticking through it. Yes, wrestling is for everybody, but not all wrestling is for everyone. We'll see you next time.
Yes, enjoy our video.
I'm just tryna wrestle, I'ma show you what I do, If you come for Matt and Murray, I'ma come for you, Raw, WWE, they break it down for you, Steve Austin, Undertaker, bring it into you. Round 1, round 2, what y'all finna do? Round 1, round 2, Wrestling Kickback new. We the best podcast, come and give a view. Champion just like I'm Sasha, you know that is true.